Yeah.
It's true.
But gosh, were they improvised? Did you make them up? Or did they?
Melissa's a great...
Jason Statham is the iron soul of modern cinema, a man who transformed films like The Transporter, Crank, and Fast and Furious into more than action movies. They became legends. Rising from the damp, cold streets of Shirebrook to the dazzling lights of Hollywood, he built his career not from privilege, but from grit, wounds, and survival. Each punch, chase, and stunt he performed carried the weight of personal struggle, endurance, and pain. Beyond the roar of engines and explosions lies a quieter story, a life tempered by near-death experiences, heartbreak, and relentless discipline. Jason's journey from a street vendor in London to international action icon is a testament to human resilience. His life is proof that true strength is forged in silence, sweat, and persistence, and that even warriors can bleed. His story reminds us that every legend begins in the shadows, long before the spotlight ever shines. Early life in Shirebrook. Born on July 26, 1967, in the coal-stained town of Shirebrook, Derbyshire, Jason Statham entered a world that demanded toughness before tenderness. His mother, Eileen, was a dancer whose applause faded quickly, while his father, Barry, worked tirelessly as a miner, painter, street seller, and pub singer to keep the family afloat. The small house they lived in smelled of coal smoke and quiet worry, a single flickering bulb above the kitchen counting the coins that had to stretch further than they ever could. Growing up alongside his older brother Lee, Jason learned early that childhood was a privilege few could afford. He followed his father to chill markets, selling cheap trinkets to strangers who rarely noticed him, learning the subtle art of perseverance. Even small lessons like a handstand taught by his father became symbolic, discovering discipline in diving. While other boys chased footballs, Jason chased mastery. At 12, he began serious diving training at the Crystal Palace National Sports Centre in London, already behind peers who had trained for years. Every dive tested him physically and mentally. Cold water stung his skin, hands rubbed raw, and muscles ached from repetition. Seasons blurred into years, and applause was rare, often replaced by silence. Despite the hardships, Jason's persistence earned him a spot representing England at the 1990 Commonwealth Games. Yet in 1992, he narrowly missed Olympic qualification, a painful reminder that effort does not always guarantee success. That silence, however, became a teacher. He learned that resilience mattered more than immediate victory, and that strength was inherited from struggle, not handed in medals. Every leap into the water, every failed attempt, strengthened his patience and endurance. Surviving the streets of London. After leaving diving behind, Jason faced the harsh reality of survival in London with no financial security or plan. The discipline he had learned in the pool became essential as he navigated cold flats, hostile streets, and nights where food was scarce. Selling cheap perfumes, watches, and trinkets became a daily struggle, often met with indifference or scorn from passers-by. Yet he refused to compromise his integrity, relying on hard work and persistence instead. Nights were spent training in dimly lit rooms, doing push-ups and shadowboxing, preparing his body for challenges he could not yet foresee. In this quiet struggle, he learned that dignity is not a possession but a refusal to surrender. Every rejection, cold night, and setback strengthened the foundation of his character. Though invisible to the world, these years forged a resilience that would later define his career. Jason had learned to rise repeatedly from hardship, a skill that would carry him to stardom. The first spark of recognition. Jason's first taste of recognition came unexpectedly through modeling. While training at the Crystal Palace Sports Centre, he was scouted by Sports Promotions, a London agency seeking authentic faces. He modeled for brands like Tommy Hilfiger, Levi's, and French Connection, earning modest pay but invaluable confidence. These shoots proved he could matter in a world that often overlooked him, though fame remained elusive. Between shoots, he returned to the streets, selling small dreams in shiny bottles, bridging the gap between survival and opportunity. The experience taught him that authenticity and resilience were far more valuable than applause or temporary recognition. His life, once invisible to strangers, now carried a quiet credibility. This brief taste of possibility planted the seed that his experiences could translate into art. The balance between cold streets and bright studios shaped his persona, preparing him for a moment when talent and lived experience would finally meet opportunity. Breakthrough with Guy Ritchie. Jason's life changed when Guy Ritchie cast him in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Ritchie sought authenticity over training, and Jason's lived experience on the streets made him perfect. He didn't audition. He shared his stories of London corners, deals gone wrong, and nights smelling of rain and regret. Ritchie recognized truth in him and declared, "You're the man. You don't have to act. You've lived it." That modest $5,000 paycheck was worth more than gold. Jason's life, once overlooked, had become his currency. Every cold night, rejection and struggle had prepared him for this role. The streets that had tested him now shaped a star. Jason didn't rise because the world offered opportunity. He rose because he had endured what few could. From hunger to headlines, his journey showed that survival, when combined with authenticity and discipline, could be transformed into art. Rise as an action star following Lock, Stock, Jason's career accelerated. Snatch paired him with Brad Pitt, establishing him as a cornerstone of British action cinema. Hollywood soon followed, and The Transporter in 2002 turned him into an international star. What distinguished him was his commitment to performing his own stunts, enduring bruises, torn ligaments, and injuries without compromise. Crank and other films further cemented his reputation for authenticity and physical intensity. Fame arrived, but the discipline, pain, and persistence mirrored the lessons of his youth and diving days. Audiences didn't just see a performer, they witnessed the truth of a man who had trained his body and mind for decades. Success, applause, and box office achievements were rewards, but Jason remained grounded in endurance. His career was proof that authenticity, grit, and relentless commitment could elevate action cinema from spectacle to legend, transforming every stunt and fight into a testament of lived experience. Trials of love and heartbreak. Behind the on-screen heroics, Jason's personal life mirrored his career's intensity. Early relationships, including with Kelly Brook, ended painfully, revealing the fragility of love and loyalty. Later relationships, like with Sophie Monk, brought joy and challenge, highlighting the difficulty of balancing fame with intimacy. Each heartbreak became part of his emotional armor, teaching him that love requires patience and courage akin to physical survival. He never publicly criticized his partners, valuing discretion and reflection. Through loss and distance, he learned that not every relationship is meant to last, but each can illuminate life's meaning. Emotional resilience became another form of strength, complementing the physical prowess audiences admired. Even as fame amplified visibility, Jason remained guided by endurance, discipline, and the quiet understanding that survival is as much emotional as it is physical. Later, career and legacy. In later years, Jason Statham solidified his legacy as a global action icon through films like The Expendables, Fast and Furious, and The Meg. Known for performing real stunts and maintaining peak physical condition, he became a symbol of authenticity in modern cinema. Yet behind the spectacle, he battled exhaustion, public scrutiny, and the constant demand to deliver. Success brought visibility, but not peace. He selectively chose roles aligned with his values, favoring realism over CGI or superficial acclaim. Jason's journey from Shirebrook to Hollywood illustrates that true heroism is not glamorous, but persistent, disciplined, and resilient. Beyond the box office, he remains a figure of endurance, proving that struggle can be transformed into artistry. Personal peace and family. In recent years, Jason found balance and peace with Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, whose quiet grace complemented his intensity. Together, they built a life of intimacy away from public scrutiny, raising their son, Jack Oscar. For the first time, Jason experienced stability and calm after decades of motion and survival. Fame no longer dictated his every moment. Love and family became anchors in his life. He continues to train and work, but the focus shifted from proving resilience to living fully. These personal victories reveal another layer of Jason, not just an action hero, but a man capable of love, tenderness, and reflection. He carries the lessons of his past, the streets, the pool, the heartbreak, into a life shaped by intentionality, endurance, and quiet fulfillment. His story remains one of transformation, from hardship to mastery, from silence to recognition, and from survival to legacy.